Hey, I hope everybody's doing okay out there today. I had an interesting thing come up this week, and it was regarding charging on these Costco batteries. And after we kind of went through the whole process of it, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and do a video on it to clear up some questions that other people might have out there. Because I know these Costco interstate golf cart batteries are very common out here on the island, and I want to make sure that everybody's properly informed on how these things work. So anyway, what happened was I was going down Highway 11 in the car and got a text from a fellow, and he said, hey, just talked to this other guy, and he said that the Costco batteries can't be charged at any more than 10 amps, and my system is set at 30 amps, and if you can only charge them at 10 amps, I'm afraid that it might hurt my batteries. And so it kind of caught me off guard at first. I didn't really know what to say about it, but once I got pulled over and thought about it, it was like, 10 amps, man, that's even a little bit less than what you would charge a car battery with. That just didn't make any sense. And I knew that I had left his set at 30 amps because it wasn't consequential at the time. So I just couldn't remember why. But anyway, he said, yeah, man, it's supposed to be charged at 10 amps. And I just don't want my batteries hurt. And that's understandable. And I know that the guy that told him that was just concerned and wanted to, put his 2 cents in there and make sure that it's all okay. So he sent me the chart that this guy sent him. And we're going to have a look at that here. So here's the chart that he sent me. And you can see over here that in this column where it says charging current, you see all of these 10s going down here. Now this 10 is not the value of the amps that are supposed to charge into the battery. This is actually a formula, C/10 or C divided by 10. The C stands for the battery capacity. So in this case, where these batteries are 210 amp hours, that means you can take 210, divide them by 20, you basically end up with 10 amps. But in this case, it's saying that it's at the C10 rate. So instead of dividing it by 20, instead of dividing by 20, you divide it by 10. So 210 divided by 10 is 21. So 21 volts or 21 amps is what these batteries should be charged with, not 10 amps. And I understand how this could get confusing for some people. You could just gloss over this C/ thing. But even more important than that, than the amperage you charge with, is the voltage. Once we got that cleared out, he's like, well, but my thing is still set for 30. That's 10 amps more than it should be. His solar panels are rated at 210 watts each. He has 4 of those. So when you take 4 and multiply that times 210 watts each, then you have 840. That's 840 watts. So you divide that by his 48 volt system, and that gives you 17.5 amps. So it doesn't matter if I had his inverter set to 90 amps or 1,000,000 amps, because he only has 4 panels. The most that will ever go to those batteries is 17.5 amps. Still below the 20. So it all ended up being kind of a nothing thing, but it's still something that I think needs to be addressed, because whenever you're designing a system, you do want to try to make sure everything's as accurate as possible. Now, one of the things to remember is that Google is definitely your friend, but if you can't interpret it and understand the data or the information that Google gives you, then it's still useless information. So just make sure that when you look at something, you research it thoroughly or ask somebody that really knows. I'm sure they'd be happy to help. And just make sure that you don't fall into any pits. And, information is freedom, information is power. Get yourself informed. Hey, you guys have a great day.